What excites you most about year 3, obviously, with the Chargers, but year 2 now working with this staff?
Yeah, just knowing the offense, because last year during OTAs it was kind of brutal, to be honest. And,
you kept your cool though.
Coach Lombardi had Drew Brees for a long time, and Drew was so smart and he knew exactly what he was doing in this offense, and they brought it to me. And having been into my second year, really, I didn't really know nearly as Drew Brees did, so they asked a lot of me, and I was kind of drowning, but to have gone through a year in it, I feel a little bit comfortable.
Hold on. Did Justin Herbert just say he was drowning last year? I think we need to dive into this. I'm Bolt Dad. Let's get going.
You're streaming the Bolt Dad Podcast with your host, Bolt Dad.
Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe for more content like this.
Bolt Dad, baby.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Before we get going, I just want to give a quick shout out to all the new subscribers. We just hit 500 subscribers. That's a big deal. Thank you so much. Also on Twitter, just hit 1,000 followers on Twitter. My mind is blown. I am so grateful for everybody. As always, as we continue to grow this channel, please provide as much critical feedback, positive feedback, whatever you got for me. We're going to use that to help grow this channel, make sure we're giving you the content that you want. In this case, I really wanted to dive in. I want to talk about Justin Herbert. He literally just said he felt like he was drowning last season. That is hard to believe, because if we take a look at the stats, we'll throw them up here. Justin Herbert had over 5,000 yards passing, just behind Tom Brady, in his first season in a brand new scheme. That is incredible. But what are our expectations for Herbert going into year 3, his second year in this system? Before I provide my opinions, let's go ahead and see what Brandon Staley has to say about it.
Chargers head coach Brandon Staley here on the Rich Eisen Show. What's your expectation of a second to third year leap for Justin Herbert?
Well, Rich, I think that you guys saw last year from the very first game to the last game, he made a ton of improvement as a player. And I think that that's kind of what I try to tell people who ask that kind of question. I think he's such a hard worker, and I think that he puts so much into the game as he makes the improvements because of how much he puts into it. And then obviously there's a lot of talent to work with. But I think that, Rich, as you know, this is the first time in 6 years that he's had the same offense. Going in, this just doesn't happen for this guy, and that's what makes him so unique. But I think that comfort zone of being in the same offense, being in rhythm where we can go over the plays that he's actually run and build on that, build that chemistry with our receiving core, tight ends, backs, like, hey, this is the way I want you to run that route, or hey, when we get this coverage, this is what it's going to look like. Hey, when we throw a 9 route to Mike Williams versus, Josh Palmer, this is what it's going to look like. So, I just think that there's a lot to build on. His experiences, I think so much as a young player at quarterback is just the inventory of experiences. It's kind of like being a head coach. Rookie head coach, you learn so much every single day. And I think Justin building that inventory of the defensive structures, the defensive coordinators that he's going, he's only going to get better.
I can't believe that this is the first time Justin's going into a season already knowing the playbook because he's played it the previous season. That's the first time he's had that in 6 years. I mean, what does that mean for a quarterback, coach?
Well, I think if you look at, the special quarterbacks of my lifetime, your lifetime, is they had continuity of their system. If you just rewind it, like they had a system that they, really they became the system. And that's what when I interviewed for the position, I'm like, that's my vision for Justin Herbert, is to create a system for him and then to grow him within that system where he becomes the system and, obviously he becomes like a coach on the field for you. And to me, that's the formula, at that position.
All right. I feel like that was pretty eye-opening. The reality is Justin Herbert had a lot on his plate last season when he took on a brand new system, took on a brand new scheme that Joe Lombardi brought over from the New Orleans Saints. And here's the thing about that is even Justin Herbert admits that, it was a complicated system. It was a lot for him. And we all know if Justin Herbert's admitting that, then it must have been something else, because this guy is the guy who has over a 4.0 GPA, majored in biology. He's a sharp cat. He's somebody who really, really understands how to study, how to interpret things and turn that into action on the field. And so when he's readily admitting that he's drowning, that's pretty hard to believe. What I want to do is I want to go over some stats for Justin Herbert, because this is hard to believe. All right, so some stats came out today that I really wanted to highlight to you. I had to get this out quickly. It was posted by Arjun Menon on Twitter. His handle is ArjunMenon100. He is an intern at PFF. He's a great follow, so go follow him. And what he showed was how quarterbacks perform versus perfectly covered plays and non-perfectly covered plays since 2019. And what I really wanted to highlight here, of course, is Justin Herbert and how he compares to a lot of the other star quarterbacks. So what this is showing is when a defense isn't in the right alignment or they don't have the play called perfectly, Justin Herbert is going to take advantage of the situation. And if you take a look right here, he is at the top or near the top when we're talking about plays that aren't covered well by the defense. That is very, very impressive. But let's see some other stats, graphs that were shown that we can really kind of dive into further. So this is very similar. This one is breaking down what it is without pressure. So if you have a clean pocket, you can still see Justin Herbert is doing quite well. You want to be in that upper right-hand corner if you can. Other notable highlights, of course, we have Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow doing very well. But Justin Herbert is right up there as well. But what I really want to show you is what it looks like with pressure. I think that's where the really eye-opening stats show you. So when you have with pressure, look at where Justin Herbert is. With pressure, and the play isn't covered perfectly by the defense, Justin Herbert knows how to take advantage of the situation. He knows how to perform well under pressure. That is some fantastic results to see from our star young quarterback. And by the way, again, I can't stress this enough. This is him going into his second year coming up. So it's only going to get better. Looking at this, you can see he even performed well with plays that were perfectly covered by the defense. Very interesting. Very excited to see this. This just further highlights to me how great Justin Herbert is and how great he's going to be. Stats don't lie, and this just proves even further that if the play breaks down, he's going to be able to make it something happen. If the defense doesn't know how to cover, he's going to take advantage of the situation. This is very what I would like to call brain intensive type work here. He's understanding the defense. When they don't cover it perfectly, he knows when and where to strike. That is something that I'm very excited to see. It gets me excited even more for this upcoming year. All right, thank you so much, everybody. I just wanted to throw out those quick highlights for you, get you even more excited than you might be already for this season. It's great to see these stats. It's great to see what our quarterback is saying, what our head coach is saying. It's just fuel to the fire for our passion, our chance for MVP coming up this season. So, again, thank you so much. I'm Bolt Dad. Bolt up and bolt out. Appreciate it.